This is WBSM On Demand.
Good morning. Good morning. Boy, it's going to be a beautiful day out there. It's going to get boring after a while saying this. Eventually I'll say it's snowing, but not today, not this weekend. So it's getting down to the end. We're going to have a good day today. We have Maureen Boyle coming in. Maureen, of course, has written a number of really interesting books on crime. She started out at the Standard Times, wrote the original story on the missing girls that ultimately became the still uncharged serial killer case, right? And then she wrote another book on a really interesting story about a guy who was on America's Most Wanted list for murdering a police officer and was hiding in his own home, first in New Bedford and then in Dartmouth, right? Somehow evading the FBI, state police, and I guess even the U.S. Marshals, while he was in his own home. It's an amazing story, and she wrote a book about that. It's called The Ghost, right? So anyway, we'll have Maureen Boyle. She's written some other books as well, and she's working on another book. She's got a local appearance coming up, and I love having Maureen in. And I think we all needed a break anyway from some of this election stuff, right? I mean, I'm always up for it, right? If you got some stuff on your mind, I want to hear about it. 508-996-0500. Let me ask you a question. Are you a little worried? If you're a Trump supporter, are you a little worried? Why is, and I was saying this to Tim during the crossover, why is Kamala Harris campaigning in Texas? Why? What does her campaign know that the rest of us don't really know, right? That's supposed to be a thoroughly red state. She's supposed to be in Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, Michigan, right? Arizona. Arizona, I understand. Texas, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But do you remember 2 years ago? The red wave that didn't happen, right? We heard all this national talk, all this happy talk from the Republicans. We're going to sweep. It's going to be a big deal. And that didn't happen. So, I don't know, guys. Everywhere I look, I see Trump signs. Everybody I talk to, certainly most of my callers. I mean, there are some people that are out with Trump. We know that. And certainly, I think he's going to do a lot better than he's ever done here in Massachusetts. But I'm just, maybe it's just me today. I don't know. But last night, when I saw Barack Obama in Georgia. Now, the vice president, Miss Harris, she's not Barack Obama. We all know that. You Democrats know that. You know that better than the rest of us. But that big crowd they had last night. Now, look, Barack Obama is a good entertainer. I disagree with him on a lot of policy stuff. That's obvious. But I can appreciate he's charismatic and he's quick, obviously. He's pretty funny. And I like that, that back and forth. I don't mind when he goes after somebody I like or goes after a position I agree with, right? It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't cut to my quick, right? There are some people who really bother me, but Barack Obama, I find him kind of entertaining, and he's like, kind of like one of the Rat Pack, right? Obviously he's a lot younger than those guys, and they're all dead now anyway. But you get my point, right? He's kind of entertaining. I don't really get bothered by people who have different political positions than me. Some people do bother me, like what's his name, Stilwell or something like that. Eric Stilwell, the California congressman who was having an affair with a Chinese spy. That guy bugs me because he's a national security threat. But I like Barack Obama. I mean, again, I don't agree with him on his positions, but I saw that big crowd down there in Georgia, and he was out there. I mean, he was whipping them up. And if you went to sit through that event, you're going to go vote. And I understand today the vice president, Miss Harris, is going to be campaigning with Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson. Now, I don't know if people, when they see her with Willie Nelson, they go, I like Willie's music. I'll vote for her, even though I, think she's going to take my guns and all that stuff, right? I don't know. But it certainly is interesting that she's in Texas. She's in Texas. What does her campaign know? Do they think they can flip Texas? Because if they flip Texas, that's it. Right? And it's not that she's trying to get that Senate candidate over the finish line. The guy who's running neck and neck with Ted Cruz down there. Because she's not concerned about other people's races before her own, right? In other words, no candidate goes out of their way to help another candidate so much to their own detriment, right? So why isn't she in Wisconsin? Why isn't she in Pennsylvania? Why is she in Texas? 508-996-0500. I mean, I'm putting it out there because I see people telling me, it's good. Last night I was hearing people on the news and reading on, social media. It's going to be a blowout. Listen, I don't think so. I think Donald Trump's going to have to work for every vote. By the way, she's going to have to work for every vote. What's interesting to me is that she's in Texas. So she thinks she can get enough votes down there that it might make it worth her while. It is amazing to me. Because, again, it's not her running her own campaign. She's surrounded by really smart strategists. So I don't know. But anyway, 508-996-05. Are you worried? Are you happy? Are you rooting for Harris and think this is all good stuff? Did you see Barack Obama last night? Did you not see him? Did you think Harris didn't do a good job in the CNN town meeting? It's just not her forum. I mean, that didn't surprise me that she didn't do well. That's not really her forum, Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Not bad. I was wondering the same thing when I heard that this morning that she was going to Texas.
Right.
I was exactly what you were saying. I was going, what the heck's she doing going to wasting her time in Texas for? She got no shot over there.
Maybe she does.
But it kind of makes you wonder. You're right. I just wanted to give you my little thought on this whole election.
Please.
I think Trump ultimately wins the election. I don't think that Kamala Harris could overcome and win the battleground states. I mean, that's just my opinion. A lot of people feel differently, but I don't. And I also don't think that the majority of America don't want Donald Trump.
Right. Right. I get it.
Right. I mean, it's been proven. The popular vote. Hillary Clinton beat him by a few million. Obviously, Biden beat him by a lot of millions.
Yes.
7 million, I think. But I think in general, the battleground states will sink her, and predominantly, I mean, not predominantly, but because of immigration. And I think Donald Trump knows that. That's why that's all he talks about constantly, every day. Spends a lot of time on just one thing, immigration.
It's a big
he knows
thing.
It's a big thing, and it's a sore spot with everybody, and even Democrats.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, it is.
So, and that's what's gonna, I think, bring him over the top. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. I mean, who knows, right?
Who knows? That's what I like. So here's the thing. I know that Kamala Harris, every candidate's time right now is precious. Why in the world is she in Texas? And they're not dumb. They know how to win national campaigns, that team around her. So they're up to something. I just can't figure it out.
Well, we will soon find out, right?
That's right. Maybe not that soon, though. Who knows? When do you think we're going to finally know who the president is?
I think maybe I will have a great idea. Maybe a day after the election.
Yeah, that's about
we'll
right.
I think that we'll have a really good idea. But the way I look at it is that I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but whoever's our president, I support.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I remember, and thanks for the call, my friend, as always. Good to talk to you. I remember when Barack Obama was in Poland, and he was in a gym working out early morning, right? And he was using warm-up weights, light weights, and it was not the most flattering demonstration, right? It was very light weights, and he just didn't look great. But the Russians obviously had taken the video, and they put it out. And I remember Sean Hannity was playing it, right, on Fox News. And I thought, I remember saying to a couple of people, actually, that Sean shouldn't be doing that because that makes America look weak. That looks to me, they're not trying to embarrass Barack. This isn't domestic politics. That's a foreign intelligence agency trying to make the American president look weak. And so people shouldn't jump on the bandwagon just because you don't like some of his policies, right? So when that gentleman says, whoever's the president, I support the Biden, I'm in that camp. I remember feeling very bad about President Biden when he was going downhill a little bit, until it just became so ridiculous. But anyway, we got a bunch of people on hold. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hello, is it me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how are you this morning?
Not bad, my friend. How are you?
Okay. Well, first question I wanted to ask it was, were you related to Bob McCarthy? He was out of Bridgewater, that area. He was a Senate guy.
No. My father was Bob McCarthy. He's passed away now. He was from Fairhaven. He was a school administrator out in Freetown, Lakeville.
Oh, okay, because there was a senator out there I used to play golf with. He was from Lakeville. He did the Lakeville and used to go to the commercial club in Bridgewater and stuff like that. But I guess, no relation.
No.
What I was going to say was, if Obama ran, if he could run for president again, he would win hands down. I mean, there would be no one that would touch him. There wouldn't even be really a race. I think he would win hands down. That's how popular he is and still is today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's very popular. When I saw that crowd in Georgia, and he's doing it all over the place. And again, when you have no one, dragging out your wreck and everything like that, it's easy. And, he's very cool on the stage, right? He's a good,
right.
He really, look, I don't agree with his policies, but I enjoy watching him for a few minutes. I watched him.
He jives with the people.
Yeah.
I mean, they just go for that. I mean, and that's part of the whole thing.
Right.
And they're happy, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's what I thought. So yeah, maybe she has. Maybe they do have something up their sleeve in Texas. There, you never know.
You never know, but it is really interesting, right? I mean, I wouldn't have started the show except that I have a bright audience. I was wondering what you guys are thinking about it, because they're not dumb people, and they win national elections. And I can't imagine she's just trying to get a U.S. Senate candidate into the Senate at the same time losing her own presidential race, you know?
Oh, yeah, no way, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's going to be a reason behind all that.
Got to be, right? Hey, thanks for the call, my friend, as always. I know she's going to be appearing with Beyonce, who I guess is from Texas. So maybe that's solely the purpose, but that seems like a waste of time to me. But again, I don't run national campaigns. 508-996-0500. If you're on hold, stay there. I've got one open phone line, so hang on. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. I'm Chris McCarthy. I want to point out to you that Sunday, October 27th at 9 a.m. at Fort Phoenix State Reservation here in Fairhaven, there is going to be a run to remember Matthew Rodriguez. Matthew, of course, was Lieutenant Colonel. He was a corporal in the Marine Corps. He was killed active duty. His mother is Lisa. She is keeping his memory alive. We all are. It is the Matthew Rodriguez Foundation. It is the Run to Remember, October 27th, 9 a.m. at Fort Phoenix. For more information, to register online, it's teamsmilingwarrior.org. Teamsmilingwarrior.org. You can reach out to his mom, which is Lisa at thesmilingwarrior.org. Okay? All proceeds from this run go to benefit Matthew's Foundation, which does a lot of great works, right? Great Marine, great American, great family. So support them. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Thank you for holding.
Morning, Chris. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, my man.
Thank you. So it is an interesting turn that they're doing such heavy campaigning down in Texas. And I know I was following Ted Cruz, and his re-election bid was really tight, which was a surprise. But, Texas is for the most part conservative, but except for the capital city, and I'm saying Austin. Austin is heavily, it's where a couple of universities are. It's very heavily left wing, and maybe that they sense that they can flip the state. I don't know, but very interesting that they're spending that much money and time down there, which it always kind of looks like a concert to me with a couple of guests, because that's what all I see is concert work going on. But one thing I wanted to bring up to you is about the fascist thing, which is now all over the news. Suddenly everybody woke up and said Trump's a fascist. But I looked this up, and Democrats have labeled GOP nominees fascists going back to, I'll name these president candidates. They named Goldwater a fascist,
yes.
Nixon a fascist, Ford a fascist, Reagan, Bush, Romney, Ryan, and Trump. So this isn't like, a surprise. It's a typical, thing to try to stop people from. And when you look up a fascist, I work for an Italian bike company. This is the funny part. And I have my Friday meetings at 9 a.m. So we just got finished with my Friday meeting. And I asked my buddy over there about fascism, and he said, people overuse the word because it started around the time of Mussolini, but at the end of the day it's about, very centralized control, and then control specifically of industry. So like all industry works for the government. And that's what that was about, especially, from in Italy and in Nazi Germany, was that the proceeds from Volkswagen and whoever else went to the central government to redistribute. And obviously that's nowhere near what they're trying to label Trump. And I think if you look at some Democrats and use the same terminology, you probably say, yeah, that person's a little fascist. They want total control over what you're doing. And so I don't know. I just think it's funny that that's like the headline everywhere now, especially on the ABC news break over the hour,
I get some comfort from it because I support, thanks for calling my friend, I support Donald Trump. I get some comfort from it because what I've learned in politics is the one who calls the other one a Nazi is usually going to lose the election. Okay? That is unless they're actually a Nazi, right? Now, here's the thing. Nobody really believes that Donald Trump is a Nazi. Nobody really believes that. What I mean is nobody at the upper echelon of the Democrat Party really believes that. Hillary Clinton knows he's not. Hitler, Vice President Harris knows that. Barack Obama knows that. Bill Clinton knows that. Chuck Schumer knows that. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have been at the Cardinals' dinner with him. The Catholic Church invited him the other night to the Al Smith dinner, right? Donald Trump's not a Nazi. Everybody knows that. Most importantly, his Jewish grandchildren know that, right? It's a bad thing to do because there are psychotic people out there, and they don't apparently care, right? I don't know. 508-996. How do you feel about the election? Why is Kamala Harris campaigning in Texas? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why isn't she in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, Arizona even, right? Texas is supposed to be solid red. Maybe they think they can flip Texas. Guys, if that's true, this thing is over. But you got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. Don't leave anything. Remember the red wave that didn't happen? Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Chris. What's going on?
You tell me.
So back in 2020, I remember this happening too. Biden was campaigning in Texas, and there was a lot of talk about, Texas turning blue or purple or becoming a swing state. And that's been going on almost, I think, since 2016, actually. I might even be going all the way back to that. But whenever the election results came out, it was always a 10-point differential.
Yes.
Abbott won by 10 points. Cruz won by 10 points when he was up. The other senator, I think, won also by a significant margin. So the Democrats, I think, this is what I think could be happening, is they're trying to flank Trump. So if Trump starts to see them making inroads or spending money in Texas, Trump's going to have to counter it. So now you're going to divert money away from a swing state and make him defend himself in a state that should be safe. And I don't know how the fundraising is going in regards to Trump to Harris. Harris may be beating Trump in the fundraising campaign.
She's way ahead of him.
So this is my point. So Trump's budget might be a lot tighter than Harris's budget. So Harris says, "Hey, we got some extra money. Let's throw some dollars over in Texas and make Trump spend money in Texas, where we don't really believe we can flip it. But now he's going to have to defend. He's going to have to counter our ads. We're going to spend $1 million. He's going to have to spend at least $1 million to defend himself. And so now that diverts $1 million from Wisconsin, and it diverts $1 million from Pennsylvania. Now notice Trump's not really campaigning in Massachusetts with the ad campaign, right? He's not spending money. It's a lot of footwork. Same thing with Harris. They're doing the same thing. They're not spending money in Massachusetts. Why are they spending money in Texas? They're not spending money in Florida. I'm telling you right now, I don't hear anything for Trump in Florida right now.
Okay.
On any ads. But I think this could be a counter campaign to just it's not more of an election result. It's more of a money thing. What do you think?
Well, look, they're doing something, because it's no small thing to fly into Texas when she could be in Wisconsin, right? Because, maybe she's going to go over to Arizona from there. I don't know, but I think your theory is pretty sound. In other words, try to expand the map to drain the Republicans' resources a little bit.
Right. And do you think she's just going the dumb route of of Hillary Clinton and forgetting Wisconsin like she did in 2016, thought that Wisconsin was in the bag.
So
that could be another. I don't think so.
I don't.
Like,
yeah.
I think she learned, you learned your lesson from that one. But I honestly think that this could be, I don't know, a diversion of funds. We'll see if is there a way for us to find out how much money Trump is spending in Texas and see if there's an uptick going forward into the last stretch.
Yes, you can do that.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that would be interesting to see, because if he has to defend himself, now you're diverting $1 million away from Wisconsin, and she's significantly more funded. She just is plowing money down in Wisconsin, and then just throws an extra million in tax that Trump doesn't have. So I don't know. I don't think it's in play. I think it's more of a diversion of funds.
No, I think that's highly likely. It is a battle, and deception is a major part of warfare, political warfare, and regular warfare. Deception is very important. The other part is she's going to do an event down there with Beyonce and an event with Willie Nelson. And the way people consume media today, particularly younger people, they consume it in clips, social media clips. They don't watch television. I don't have any young people in my life, really. I don't have any children, unlike our vice president. But I learned this from my friends' kids. My friends tell me how their kids consume media, and from some of the stuff I get here from professional sources that tell us how people consume media, different age brackets. And people watch stuff on TikTok and YouTube. And so a video with Beyonce could be very important to the Harris campaign, or a video with Willie Nelson, an appearance with them, which then translates into a video that could be very important to them. So I don't know. 508-996-0500. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Good. My take on this is a little different.
Sure.
I think right now it's about the Electoral College.
Yes.
For her to come out of having any chance to win the election, she had to come out of September running strong and leading in a big way. And now her campaign is desperate, and she could roll out Elvis. I don't think it's going to matter. And I think the thing in Texas is where they're trying to cut losses. If they could chip away and get Cruz out of there, it'd be a big win and maybe maintain the Senate.
Okay.
But I don't even think she's going to take Wisconsin at this point. I think it's just fallen through the cracks for her. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I hear that. That's what makes me worried, because I heard about the red wave. I've heard, you hear a lot of optimism from campaigns, and that always scares me. I think that Kamala Harris has a good team around her, obviously, and they know how to win national elections. And I don't think they would sacrifice for her to take the Senate. In other words, that if she can be in Wisconsin, if that would swing the election maybe towards her, they don't care about the Senate. They want the presidency.
I just think that she had to come out of September real strong.
Oh, I agree.
Going into October, we're down to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think that most people know where they're going to go, and she might take the popular vote like Hillary did or whatever, but the Electoral College, the way it's looking, it's sliding into Trump, and that's my take on it. But I hope you have a great weekend.
You too, my friend. Thank you so much. Look, I hope he's right. Don't get me wrong. I haven't switched sides here or anything. I just like thinking about this, like looking at politics. Look, I'm still trying to figure out what's going to happen with some of our local races here. The Westport race, the Fairhaven race, the state senate race over there in Marion and Wareham, right? I mean, there is still a lot of days left. There's not many days. Well, in fact, the election could be over for you today if you went and voted, quite frankly. If I lived in a swing district, I guess I do. I do, actually, right? I'm in Fairhaven, and we have a race here. Maybe the election will be over for me today. Maybe I'll go vote today. Haven't really figured it out. Natalie and I are going to go looking at dogs. I think I've told you my precious Milo passed away after a great, long life. But I think we're going to go looking at dogs today. So maybe I could vote. We could go over and vote and then go look at puppies. Anyway, I don't know. Why is Harris in Texas? Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Good. And my thoughts go out to you and Natalie. I know you're replacing Milo. You can never replace Milo, but there's always something about a new dog that brings joy to people, Chris.
Yes, just like a new girl.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Thank you. You were just in Texas. Tell me.
I was just in Texas. I have to tell you, my kids live in Houston. Your callers, you got the greatest callers out there. The last three callers have hit the nail right on the head. And I can tell you from being down in Texas with my kids, there's one place that she's wasting her time. It's Texas, because if you look at the Dallas mayor, Eric Johnson, as you know, he was a Democrat, switched over to Republican. Your good friend Barry Sylvia is still a Democrat, though. Chris, Eric Johnson got 98.7% of the vote in his city. I don't know what she thinks she's going to do in Dallas, or quite frankly, the rest of Texas. But I think she's wasting her time.
Well, we hope that's what she's doing, right?
Well, yeah. And again, I just recently did make up my mind. You talk about the ability for us to go vote.
Yeah.
Because Democrat, I was listening to John Mitchell, or his mother named him Jonathan Mitchell. I was listening to him talk about, this federal money that Biden and Harris have come up with for infrastructure. We haven't seen a penny of it. And the only thing that New Bedford's been, and it's not even guaranteed, is a couple $100 million to fix our sewage treatment plant, which, as you know, needs fixing. Mm-hmm. But, Chris, it's not even guaranteed. We got a promise. We got forgiveness on a bond, and maybe some principal. But again, nothing's guaranteed. And ask your listening audience, what have they seen come out of Biden-Harris in terms of that infrastructure money?
Right.
Can you think of anything?
Really, the thing is that we need a new sewage treatment plant for the whole region, not just the city of New Bedford. It just happens to be the city of New Bedford where it's located. It dumps into our regional water. So we need. I haven't seen anything, and I haven't seen anything out of Elizabeth Warren really either. Yeah,
and I do some hunting up in West Bridgewater. They did put a dam where there's a herring run up there, and you can see the big 4x8 sign. Biden-Harris, that they've done this. I don't get it. I'm upset with my party, and my Catholic faith. It burns me inside to think that she's almost like an atheist. So yeah, I will be voting for Donald Trump, and good luck with hopefully you pick out a great name, and we'll hear what the name of the new dog's going to be. Chris, take care.
Thanks, Barry. Thanks as always, my friend. Another Democrat for Trump. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I got 2 open phone lines now if you want to get through. The audience, 508-996-0500. Just hear that ad from Scott Lang. The elections locally are really starting to heat up. I think you're going to have some big news coming out of the Westport race. So it's Westport, some precincts in the north end of New Bedford, Wood 1, 2 precincts in Acushnet, 2 precincts in Freetown, and a couple of precincts in Fall River. That's an open state rep seat over there. So that is starting to heat up. You've got a Republican, a couple of unenrolleds, and a Democrat in the race. And it's going to be, I think that's going to be a real nail-biter over there. Of course, we all know Jesse St. Gilesi started early, and most of us know him socially. that he seems to be the hardest working guy in the race, but some of the other campaigns are starting to ramp up their activity as well. Some of the other campaigns, because you've got a couple of unenrolleds in the race, and you've got a Democrat and a Republican. So I think that race is going to be a nail biter. I really do. Over here in Fairhaven, we've got a really good race going between Mark Sylvia, who's the Democrat, nice guy, everybody knows Mark, town moderator, and he's the Democrat. And then Joe Pyers, everybody knows Joe. Joe's a businessman on the Rochester School Committee, and he's going right at it, right? And so those guys, I think they're going to come down pretty tight because that seat has been Democrat, but it's also been Republican, right? John Bradford had that seat coming out of Rochester, which is where Joe Pyers comes out of. So what I do, folks, is I vote for the people that ask for my vote, right? People who ask for my vote. And then if they both ask, well, then the race is on, right? 508-996-0500. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Chris.
How you doing, my friend?
Good. I got a question. Where is early voting taking place in New Bedford?
The main library right across the street from City Hall.
Excellent. Easy enough. Fantastic. I appreciate that.
No problem at all, my friend. You going to go down today? Or?
Absolutely.
All right. Get it in the bank.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. I appreciate that, my friend. That's a good American right there. Heard Scott Lang's ad. Heard me talking about it. I just think it's so important for the area that everybody goes out and votes, right? Particularly this audience. You guys have more information than most of your neighbors who don't listen, right? So get out and vote and bring a friend. Bring a friend. Sir, the gentleman I just talked to, if you see somebody, take them along. Take them along. And I do appreciate Scott Lang, by the way. That's his own personal money, doing that Get Out the Vote campaign, you know. He's paying for those ads. He's not on the ballot. He just is doing it because it's good for the area. It's good for all of us. If a lot of us go out and vote, when we need something, the politicians will respond. It's pretty basic, really. I gotta take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. It strikes 1 in 8 women in the United States, and less commonly, but it does strike men. So a simple mammogram can be your best weapon in the fight against breast cancer, allowing for early detection and the best chance for successful treatment. Awareness, detection, treatment, cure. That's the key to beating this disease. Breast Cancer Awareness Month on WBSM is brought to you by Primacare. Primacare by your side. And I don't know what your weekend plans are. Maybe you're going to watch or listen to the New England Patriots get beat again by the New York Jets. But you never know. The New York Jets are kind of struggling now, too. They have Aaron Rodgers. He's probably getting high right now, getting ready for the game. You know what Aaron does these days. And they're not in great shape either. But the Jets are going to be at Gillette Stadium to take on the Patriots. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Pre-game on WBSM begins at 10 a.m. New England Patriots all season long right here on WBSM. So, guys, in the next hour, we will have one of my favorite guests, one of your favorite guests, Maureen Boyle, the author, journalist, journalism instructor, and she'll be talking with us about some of her local crime books that she's done. She wrote the definitive book on